Many condemn elites for hiding information, not on principle, but due to the lived experience of hiding key things from people that they know. So I'm not going to expand much on this. I'll talk on this in different topics in different places. I have mentioned before how I have a possible obsession that might be somewhat unhealthy, at least socially unhealthy, when it comes to socializing. Makes you somewhat antisocial when I have this relationship I have with honesty. Withholding honesty as, I don't want to say a virtue, but as something that is foundational core to the relationships I have in my life. I value them and define them depending on how honest I can be with someone else. And that starts with yourself. But in this particular idea, this particular thought, it was coming to me just thinking that a lot of people out there are very critical to people in leadership position, people in leadership, these other very famous and popular people, because of some of these things that they do. They see them, oh, this person didn't tell us the truth. Oh, Donald Trump is hiding these things from us. Oh, Nancy Pelosi knows these things. She's doing these things behind the scenes. Oh, these politicians go around and do this and this, do that and that. Oh, look at this person. They're just lying. They're trying to get something around from us. And I think some of it isn't on principle because when you look at a lot of these people's lives who are making these complaints, which I do agree with, lying tends to not be a positive thing. But you check their personal lives and see how much of their personal lives, their day to day, is also involved with and built on that whole subterfuge, that whole mentality that they can't be themselves in front of other people. They have to go and keep certain things away from other people, otherwise they feel that it would be their own personal loss. So this is a lived experience. This is something a lot of us go through in our day-to-day lives. We just aren't doing it as public and on as grand a scale. But if you really think about it, in some of these relationships, in some of these interactions, for your personal individual reality tunnel, it might be at a much larger scale than anything else some random person does. If Donald Trump goes and tells some lie at the next presser, how does that directly affect you that night at dinner? If Don Lemon comes on and is making a report on that, and then he goes on and you find out that, oh, he lied about what Donald Trump said, how does that affect you the next day when you go to work? But I think they're personally things, a lot of people, that sitting at that table, they didn't tell their spouse something that might be really deeply foundational to how they view the world out of some fear or concern that their spouse would look at them in a different way. They go to the office and they feel they're in an environment where if they came out and spoke out against something that's happening in the workplace culture, some hiring policy or things like that, it would turn out everybody would turn against them and then they would be fired. So you have this thing where you can now project on these other people and say, look, those people are doing those horrible things. Why would they ever do that? That's so harmful to other people. And I think that is a sort of proxy, or hopefully a step towards coming to acknowledge the harm that having people in your life that you find you can't be that honest with, that you have to lie to, are is a thing. I think it comes to some kind of frustration through that. Anyway, so this is part of my shorty series where I take small thoughts that I condense and then I expand on them, and hopefully I share them with you out here who have chosen to come and listen, and I'm very thankful, and I would be doubly thankful if you let me know what you think in the comments section, and I will be tertiary or triply thankful if you if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, and share if you think there's anybody else that might agree with this content. There's also links to our merchandise store and one-time donations and PayPal as well. Till next time, goodbye.